Hello and welcome to another edition of Address Space Layout Randomization. We're going to be going through some technical challenges that we put out to the community. And I think that this is, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time we've had no one solve all four of the challenges. Is that right? I still don't think we have anybody that solved all four.
No. Yeah, no one solved all four for this time.
And just so you know, like whenever I'm looking at these challenges, Serena and I were just talking about them, like total complete train wrecks of challenges. Like the last two, like the curve is just like, I don't know, a wall that you run into. One of the challenges is a crypto challenge where you're basically trying to crack the RSA for the flag across a whole bunch of different flags, which is just like, we're gonna talk a little bit about crypto challenges, and then the next one I just got to looking at it. Like I said, I've been teaching all week. Is inventory, and inventory looks like a heap spring attack where you're taking advantage of memory allocations and malloc and free to basically try to get your exploit to go into a memory address space that will be freed up, and then accessing that memory address space, which is just totally not easy things to do whatsoever. So if you didn't get all the way through, White Cyberduck just said, these challenges traumatized me.
Me too.
Yeah, Serena too. And I want to make this clear. I think that this is kind of important. A lot of times whenever you come on these things, people go through them and they're like, well, this is easy. And a lot of times it's contrived, right? Like as an instructor, you create a situation that you know how to walk through. And it's not. I mean, even exploit dev, to be completely honest with you, you see somebody that walks through an exploit that's usually like a month and a half of absolute pain, torment, and suffering to get to the point where you actually have a functional exploit. So we're going to try to do our best to go through, and want to give everyone should give a round of applause to Serena for going and doing the walkthrough on these, because they were not easy ones at all. So with that, Serena, I'll take care of questions because, you know, I can sit back and just look smart because I don't know how to solve these last two, like at all. Boy, everyone's coming through. This is going to be more of a support group for these challenges, I think, than anything else. But at the very least, we're going to share with you the solutions that Roman and the Meta CTF team gave us, and Serena's going to walk through and she's going to like explain it. And then we're all going to sit together and we're going to cry.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. It should be fun. All right, Serena, go ahead and take it away.
Okay. Yeah, like John was saying, I did not solve all of them either. I had to use a walkthrough and it was, you know, we'll get there. And today's been about an off day for me, so I feel like if something is going to go wrong, it definitely will. So yeah. We'll just see how it goes.
Just, you know, we have more people. Mahu just said, I'm very disappointed in my performance. That's okay. It's okay. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's okay. It's okay. All right, Serena, take it away.
Yeah, so first one that we're going to walk through is the Dauntless Defacement. This one was pretty cool. So basically, one of DNS Corp staging HTTP servers has been breached. Attackers call themselves lead hacker. They've defaced the DNS lookup page. Fortunately, DNS Corp has a very good logging capabilities and has captured the attacker's activity. This I thought was funny because it's like, oh, they have really good logging capabilities because their logging capability is just a packet capture of everything. So I was like, okay.
You know, the packet head in me is like, do you really need anything else? Of course, the answer is yes. But hey, there you go. They got full packet captures. We'll go with that.
Yeah, so can you figure out what else the attackers did on the system? So the packet capture you can download here. I already have it. This is like if you ever watch a cooking show and they like put the bread in and then they take it out immediately.
Julia Childs. Oh, look, the cake is done.
Yeah. It's done. Yeah. So let me see here. Oh, wait. Okay, so the packet capture I have in the defacement, let me go ahead and open it in Wireshark because this is going to be the easiest way for me. Okay, And now let me see if I can make this a little bigger and over here so I'm not covering it. Okay. Does that look good? Everyone can kind of see what's happening? Yes. Cool. Okay. So
we can see it. We're good.
That we want to look at is gonna, like, we have a bunch of stuff. The first thing that I want to look at is HTTP information. So I just kind of like started by filtering out HTTP, and then we can see some GET requests, some POST requests. You can look in here for this one. It's just filling out an IP form, a form, adding a DNS server. So like that's not very suspicious to me, considering that's what the website's supposed to do. And basically I just want to like go through and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's a internal address. So I was like, okay, weird. But I just kept kind of looking until I eventually found something that did look suspicious. Let me see if I can find it on here now. And obviously this is like a lot of information. Okay, so here I saw this hack.zip and I was like, okay, that's weird. What information is that? And then I kind of went up a little bit too. Let's see if I can find the other one here.
We got Hoax Paragon said they got it by accident. I don't know if there is by accident.
Yeah.
If you find it, you find it, right?
Yeah. And I was so like, I found this one too. I was mainly interested in the post requests here.
It looks to me like right there, that form item, they're trying to do command injection, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what they did. And we can see they try to set up a netcat session under this IP address with this port number. And I was like, okay, interesting. And then we saw this hack.zip file. So what I wanted to do is get this zip file so that I can take a look and see kind of like what is in that zip file. So I went to file here and then export objects. I think I did HTTP. I clicked the file here, this application zip, hack.zip, and then I save it. And I might already have, let's see.
I thought I saw it.
There we go. So I'm going to save that file and then kind of just like poke at it, see what we can see in it. So let's just try unzip. And it has a password, unfortunately. So, and don't roast me for this being a white background because this is John's rule.
What?
Because it has to be a white background for testing when I'm taking screenshots.
Oh yeah, yeah, for testing.
The report.
Yeah, for webcast, we can make it look cool. You know, black background, white characters.
Yeah. So
somebody's throwing her boss under the bus.
Yeah, I just don't want. Okay. Anyway, we'll continue. So I got the zip file, and then what I'm gonna do is go follow this TCP stream to see if I can see like more information and kind of like a collective without it being all chopped up in all of these separate packets. So here we can see the host. This is that 1.197 address. We see this zip file, and I'm going to see there's nothing like further on here. Let me see if I go back to this file. See that? Okay. Let me get out of this filter. And what we're going to try and look for is to see what other information we can kind of find based off of what they were typing.
By going into the different TCP streams then?
Yes, correct. So let's see if I can follow this TCP stream and if it gives me any more information. And that doesn't, but we're going to keep looking here. and see what else we can find. And I always get like, you have to make sure to clear this out because then it'll filter and you're just going to be like, what the heck is happening?
Yeah, because you're stuck in the same TCP stream the whole time, right?
Yes, correct. So I'm trying to think what
Now,
the
recorded paradox
by.
brought up a good pro tip. If you follow a TCP stream and use the up arrow on the bottom of the screen, you may be able to navigate through the different streams. Which, to be perfectly blunt, I didn't know you could do that. I always went into each of the streams and just did it that way. So that's pretty cool.
The other thing that I'm going to try here, and I did this like a few days ago, so it's not exactly fresh in my mind, but I'll try and find all the information that might be coming from the IP address of that that we could see that netcat session from.
Yeah, on that leech port.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So once I look up that and then I can see this port number right here, that's what it's communicating on, then I'm going to follow the TCP stream from that. So like, you know, this seems to be giving me more information. We see this export shell bash, we see curl, uname, wget.
There's the hack.zip.
Here's the zip. Yeah. And then to do more connecting just until we can kind of go through and then we're actually going to find the password for it.
Now,
right?
I want to point this out because, like I said, seriously, I did not know this. And I think that this is really, really, really cool is the stream 9. You can move up and down to the different streams in the packet capture. I didn't know you could do that in follow TCP stream. So you learn something new every day. That is so cool. Thank you. But now we got the password for the zip file, which is neat.
Right. So what we're going to do is just try and put that password in there. And it worked. So let me see if I can go into, so we have secret.txt. So that's what I'm going to be interested in. And here is the flag. And it says too bad threat actors are no longer this easy to find.
I don't know. A lot of threat actors we see are still throwing commands back and forth, clear text, and PowerShell. So, you know, whatever. No, that was amazing. That's really cool.
Yeah, so that one wasn't too bad. I feel like I learned a lot about Wireshark because I've never really had to use it in that way specifically. Most of the time I've used Wireshark to like troubleshoot things, but then obviously other people might be using it for other reasons. So yeah.
And it's cool. There's other people that are finding different ways to go about solving it, right? And I think that that's pretty cool as well in the comments. But yeah, I mean, once again, you learn something new every day. And in the TCP stream, you can right click, follow TCP stream. And if you want to go to a different stream, lower right hand corner, you can go up and down through different streams. And I'm adding that to my class. That is really, really cool because I constantly had to jump out and go to different streams. So like see in the lower right hand corner, you got stream 9. You can go up and down to different streams. What the hell? That's so cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I did not know
people
that
are like,
either.
wait, you can do that in Wireshark? Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a fun one to find. The next one that I did was just my kind of type, which is my favorite because I like file upload vulnerabilities. And interesting thing about this question is I actually completed this as part of my hiring process for here. So I did this, but it changed since I had done it the last time. So the way that I did it before did not work. And so I had to figure out how to do it again. So we will go ahead and start with that one. So here basically says, we all know that developers are sometimes, shall we say, less than motivated about security protections. But hey, if it passed the test, it's good, right? Thankfully, QA wrote some basic requirements this time, which made the developer add some protections around file uploads, which those protections weren't there when I did this last. So it gives you where the file is located, which is great. And here's the website. So we just click and go to this website. It's pretty basic.
I love it when they give you the path of where it's at. And that's awesome on a web pen test too. They're like, the sensitive files are over here in this directory. Thank God I don't have to fuzz it now.
Yeah. So I just kind of like to click around and see just what options there are. So obviously we have a profile picture, some very basic information. You can go to profile editor and browse, click the button and upload a new profile image. So the first thing that I want to do, because I noticed from up here that it's edit profile.php. So I already have a what is it? A one line kind of backdoor that I like to use for PHP. So I'm just going to see if I can upload that file and see if it just accepts a .php file. And it didn't. So the other thing that I like to do, so if I do so the other thing that I like to do is add an additional file extension. So I'm going to just actually copy backdoor.php to backdoor.php.png. So you can see that that's now a file option. So I'll browse and select that one and hit open and try and submit. So now it says PNG files with a valid image size are allowed.
Now, that's a different error type, and that usually is an indication that you're kind of moving in the right direction. Like,
yes,
if you're getting those different types, it's like, no, hacker, you didn't quite get it right. Now try this.
Yeah. So. And so this was not here last time I did it. And so I was like, oh, dang. So it is doing some type of file checks. So there is a couple different ways you can go about this. The one that I thought I would try and do first, but didn't end up working. And I don't know if it just doesn't work or if I just couldn't make it work. But be adding like that file size check into this backdoor. I tried to mess around with that for a little bit and didn't work. So I was like, all right, now I just need to add the backdoor to a PNG image. And that's what I tried next. So I have this like index.png file, and I had used EXIF tools to add this little backdoor. Okay, it's not like the smallest one. I'm sure there's better options for PHP backdoors, but I added this into the document name. So this is like going in the EXIF data on the image itself. So when it checks, because obviously this PHP program on the back end is doing checks to this image, it's going to see this backdoor and see if it can, and hopefully it will run it if we can get it to actually trigger. So it just used EXIF tools, added this backdoor to the document name portion of this PNG file, and I ran it. It ran successfully. We have one image, files updated. So the other thing that I can't remember if I did, but I'm going to test it and see if it actually works. If I can just upload this index.png image, let's see here. With it, I don't know if I'm going to need that PHP extension or not, but we'll find out, and then I can add it. I want to say, so we can see this like little PNG that I made. So next what I'm going to do is look at this profile picture, and then I'm going to go to view page source.
See if it actually loaded.
Yeah, so right here I can see the source. So uploads, profile images, random numbers and letters.
Okay, and so now that's cool. It shows you, but can you go back up to the top of this file?
Yeah.
I thought I saw something with Cloudflare in here. Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Sorry.
So okay, this when I uploaded it just with PNG just loads the image. So what I'm gonna try and do next is again add that second file extension. So I'm gonna see if I can move index to okay. So I'm gonna move that file and add that second extension so I can do a php.png. And we'll try and upload that and see if this works. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. All right, uploaded.
Okay.
Good, sweet. Now I'm gonna go back. I'm going to do the same thing. This time, the image is not loading, which is different than before.
Which may not be a bad thing, actually.
Yes. So I'm going to click. Oh, no, wait. It's a not update.
Isn't that the same? The old one?
Yeah. Let me see if I can just add.
White Cyberduck was talking about updating the cache, or the cache in the browser may still be loading the old one too.
Let's see here. View page source. See, I told you something would go wrong live, but at least it's an opportunity to try and troubleshoot, I guess, right? Oh, let's do this. Hold on. Index.php.png. All right, let's try again.
Yeah, the people are recommending flush your cache. That might help too.
Yeah.
Control F5 maybe. Because that bites me in the ass so many times.
My cache is not here. Let me try this first, and then I'll try that because I have a Apple keyboard, and so
shit. Who bought you an Apple?
It's just what I had because I switched between my Mac and my All right, let's see if this works. No, okay. So let me see if I can. I don't even know how to do this on here.
On Mac. Give your employees a keep. Hey now. While she's looking this up, I gave her the computer she wanted, folks.
Like, all right, someone in the chat. Okay, tell me where I can do this.
They were talking. Somebody said Command R, but she's not on a Mac. She's in Kali inside the Mac.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, search for clear in your settings. Command Shift R. Function R. Control Shift.
God, this is really what it looks like, you know.
Because it's showing the same randomized directory that you loaded before, right?
So this, what it should say,
is the new upload.
Is the new upload. But the other thing is, sometimes with these, I think I don't know if they reset every so often. So if you take too long, you have to like re-upload. But I don't think that's
Joshua brought up switch to incognito mode.
Yeah, I could do that too. Let's try this. Switch, new private window. Okay. Let's see if I can.
Effing button.
Okay, let's just try it in here with a new file. There we go. Okay. Open. Let's make query. All right. Let's see. Everybody hold on to your butts. Okay, there it is.
Yay.
Okay. This doesn't look great, but let's see if we can get it to
do something. You're going to feed it something.
Yeah, let's just see if I can do like an ls. Ooh. Okay, so we can see that we have some like type of command execution. Let me just do if I can. Let's see. So if I do command
cat, maybe.
Cat yeah, let's try.
No, I'm going to tell you right now, that's not like with my command shells. I've never had a command shell do that where it puked on the screen and you were literally like then feeding the commands into it, which I think is kind of cool.
Oh, not flag. There we go.
There we go.
Okay. So yeah, there's a bunch of different options for PHP backdoor. But this is the one, like my trusty one that I always use for whatever reason.
It's really super basic. That's one of the things I like. It's almost like a one-liner.
Yeah, it is. So it is. I didn't write it. I literally just Googled one line PHP
Oh,
backdoor, and there was one on GitHub.
yeah, hell
And
no.
I was
Yeah,
like,
I
this
don't.
is exactly what I need. And then I can just do commands like in the URL here and
Yeah.
execute.
No, that's
So
pretty cool. I remember there's this myth of Tom Liston. Tom Liston is a hacker that wrote La Brea, an old tar pit, and then was first person to ever do VM escape, and he did a full PHP shell. Rumor has it he had like file upload capability, one character at a time to a file of his choosing, and rumor has it from very good sources that he literally typed in the PHP shell from memory, one character at a time, and nailed it on the first shot all the way through. And that's
that's
like,
it could never be me, but I'm happy
oh
for it.
no, I'd never do that. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no.
Um,
Vino Joy said did it with burp repeater. Yep, you could totally. But what can't you do with burp repeater? It's just awesome stuff.
yeah, that's another way to do it. That's what also I really like about this challenge is there's a ton of different ways to actually get the flag.
Now, CyberDuck's got a cool one. I used curl to execute commands from the terminal, where they basically were just curling the requests to the web server on the port. That's actually pretty cool. That's the same type of thing, but using curl instead of doing it in the browser. That's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah. I don't know. I always get self-conscious about my way. I'm like, no, I mean, it works. We all end up at the same place, right? So,
Yeah. All right. So speaking of crazy things, are you ready for collision course?
sure.
All right.
John's actually going to explain how it works.
Oh, really? We're going to talk about RSA ciphers. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I literally am just looking at the code and I'm almost wondering if they're using electronic codebook mode as the cipher for I don't know. They're using keys.
All right. So, did anybody in the chat actually end up getting collision course?
Did anyone get this?
Did
By the
anyone
way,
here?
I want to. So you know that meme? What is it? It's like four people that are in an RV, and there's always like it always ends with like the guy in the movie like you're getting paid. This is one of the things I thought was really funny. Serena's been going through these challenges, and we were talking. I can't remember a little while ago, and you're like, "Holy crap, these are really hard." And I'm like, "Well, do you have the walkthroughs?" She looks at me. She's like, "There's walkthroughs." So she was trying to solve them one at a time. We got Tire Fire solved it. So round of applause for Tire Fire.
Nice.
That's awesome. Absolutely
So,
love that. But it was a tough one. No question. And we have some sample code for you all to play with it. So why don't you take it away and we'll kind of go through it.
okay. Cool. So, we've collected 50,000 public RSA keys and encrypted the same flag 50,000 times.
Which once again, I want to stop right here. Who would ever do this? Sorry. That's okay. Go ahead.
Someone who enjoys pain. I don't know. Okay. So encrypt it once with each of the public keys. See if you can recover the original flag by taking advantage of this. Download this file to get started. Note, you can read the note there. You can use CyberCTF like this to do that. All right. So let me show you what I have, and then we'll go from there. So, okay. So I don't know if you can see it all the way at the bottom of the screen here.
You have the text from the zip file. Can you show people that text real quick?
Yes.
I love this. White Cyberstuck said there are only 49,999 flags, and they're all false. Okay.
So I wasn't, yeah. So yeah. All right. So let me just cat the script that we used to do this. Again, I did not write this.
This is from Roman, right?
This is from Roman, and I did try and have him explain it to me, and I'm sure he did a great job. It went a little over my head. But anyway. So here we are going to load the file. So the file just needs to be in the same directory as so the script and this collision course.txt need to be the same. And gosh, I wish I could explain it better. But basically, from what I understand, it's like a probability or some type of statistics where it works.
Well, it's collisions, right? So
Yeah.
like if we talk about like the birthday paradox. So what are the odds of two people walking into a room that have the exact same birthday? Many people would say it's 1 out of 365 days out of the year, and that's not true. It's actually, I think it's like once you get to around 20 people, you're getting close to 100% chance of two people having the exact same birthday. So whenever you have 50,000 of these that are all together, the odds of there being a collision are quite high, and you're taking advantage of that collision. Now, I don't know why they did the plain text, the base 36 conversion. I think that's just mean, as near as I can tell. But that's kind of what you're looking at, is what is the probability of having two like go with each other and have a collision. So very similar to the birthday paradox, looking for collisions. I'm going to go to another script. What we got here?
And I am running this. It does take time. So if anybody has like a cool script that worked for you.
Because I'm looking at the script.
Tirefire put his script in there.
Tirefire was cool enough to share. Let's get that shared out, Ryan. Tirefire's got his script out on Pastebin, which is awesome. You can look at the raw. And his looks a little bit more simplistic, actually.
Yeah. So I was supposed to run this before we got on stream, and I didn't. So it's going to take probably a couple minutes to actually go through and give us an answer.
Now wait a minute. With Tirefire, I don't see the base 36 in here. Did you do that after you were done with your script, and then you basically used it in CyberChef after that? I'm waiting for him to respond, or them to respond.
Yeah.
You need to stop.
I also put in here basically if the greatest common divisor of any of the two ends isn't 1, then they share a prime that's a factor.
Yep.
Listen, I did not do well in math. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So we'll let that run. If we want to move on to inventory, which whenever we start getting into heap spraying attacks, and this one was only solved, I think, by one person on Meta CTF. It's now 3 teams. Now it's collision course. If we go to the other one, inventory, I only think that was solved by a few people.
It says only solved by one team on here.
So that means somebody says that they solved it. They probably didn't. So this one's interesting because it's basically taking advantage of malloc and free, where you're basically freeing up memory locations and then doing a pointer back into those memory locations that were deallocated for the application as well. So, all right. So with the, did anybody get this one on the FlashCTF while we're still waiting for the other one to finish out? By the way, Tirefire, thank you very much for sharing out your script. I appreciate it. All right. Doesn't look like anyone got this. We also have the source code for this one as well. So
yeah, so I went in here, and the first thing that I did when I downloaded these files was I wanted to kind of just see what was in this inventory.c file. And let me go scroll to the beginning here. So the nice thing is you can see here this win parentheses. It gives you this system where it will like spit out a flag, right?
And for the record, in Meta CTF, this builds, right? Like I can't remember. I think it's a mystery service. Then you go to Baby Boff, which does something very similar to this one. And they progressively get worse as you continue through Meta CTF. So this isn't like if you're watching this like Meta CTF and ACT just drops you straight into this. There's a gradual ramp up to get to this point as well. So
yeah. And I was just kind of reading through, and then I can obviously, see there's item type, wheel, oil, there's some add items. So assign a name, so we'll be able to like input words and different things like that. So you can also, let me see here. You can actually mess around with this too by connecting. So
Netcat to the rescue. No.
Oh gosh. All right. Okay. So here you can actually like see if you add an item, then it'll say item 0 created. Remember the item number for future reference. Then you can assign a name to an item for, so you can mess around with like all these things here. Now, what we're going to do is mess around, but you want to overwrite it so that you can get that when command to actually trigger and give you an output.
So right now you got a memory issue, right? Because you generated a seg fault, but it didn't seg fault back to where it dumped the flag, basically is what's going on, right?
Right. So there is this script, and I'll show you this too. Also provided by Roman. And then this says Python 2, but we had to upgrade it to Python 3, which basically was just changing this print here.
And you're importing the Pwn tools, right?
Yeah. So import Pwn tools. This took me forever, mainly because when I was first running this VM on my M1 Mac. And for whatever reason, I think it's a compatibility issue. I cannot install Pwn tools on a VM that's on an M1 Mac. So
yeah, I think we're gonna have to get you an Intel-based computer.
This is I do.
Well, that one is this one yours?
This
Your
is
personal one.
No, this is my tester laptop. So I have one for content and one for testing.
Okay, cool.
So I do have it. So I eventually switched over to here reluctantly, mainly because I just like the screen sharing and streaming from the Mac. But anyway, so you get you import Pwn tools here. You get this when parameter, which you can call from using the source code in the binary, or from the binary to get this data here. And then it's going to remote into our meta problems with the port. And then it's going to start sending information. So we're going to see like, it's going to first you're going to select an item. Then 4, you're going to assign a name to an item here. It's just going to assign 0. And then
so
it's going to.
So basically it's stepping through so it gets to the point where the vulnerability is, right?
Correct. Yeah. So it's going to.
And I just want to call out, sorry for interrupting. This is key because when you're fuzzing executables, a lot of executables, like it's not just a standard input. Like you have to step through to actually trigger the point where the vulnerability exists.
Right. So from here, you can see it's going to spray this P64 parentheses win 3. And so when it says spray the name field with the address for the win function. So that's basically what we're going to do. So when it asks for a name, it's going to do this. Then it's going to go through a little bit more. 5, remove the name from item 0, create name, assign a dummy name, whatever, 12. So basically just so it has that issue where it rewrites and it triggers basically this output, which will then trigger the flag.
So if we're reading this, like anytime it says send line after, it's telling it to send this data to the remote service. As soon as it gets to the point in the service, then it starts spraying that specific field in that service. And then it cleans up after itself as well. Okay, cool.
So let's just see if I can run. Actually, it's so here. And this this needs to be cleaned up a little bit too, because when I transition it from Python 2 to Python 3, I didn't make all the changes I needed to, basically made it functional. So then here you have this item name, whatever, but then it spits out the flag.
So predominantly, this particular exercise is really just an introduction to the Pwn tools in Python, and learning how to do the basic spraying functions in Python.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
So
cool.
that was like cool, like something that I had not done before. I mean, I think I'm most familiar with like web
Mhm.
vulnerabilities, so expanding outside my comfort zone a little bit, but yeah, so that was good. I don't think a lot of people got this one. This one was really interesting, and you did have to actually write a script, or there probably is a way to do this without completely automating it with a script by going through this yourself. The only thing that I couldn't figure out how to do was get it to spit out that file or the actual flag. But somebody, I'm sure, probably could. I would
Well,
imagine that's possible because obviously we're getting it here in our
yeah, you're
script.
actually getting the data, and you just want it to be prettier. Now you're just showing off.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So,
Well,
yeah,
very cool.
that was the fourth one. This one was definitely supposed to be a little bit more of a difficult CTF. I think
Yeah,
that was your idea behind it. So
it was. I didn't mean to make your life difficult. But like I said, I still thought it was funny. You're like, I've gone through two of them, and they seem to be really hard. And in my head, I'm like, she's got the walkthroughs, right? And you're like, no, no.
yeah. Well,
I'm
step
pretty sure
one
that if
for
I was
the
in the same, I'm pretty sure if I was in the same room with you, you would have punched me at that point.
no, I just was like, well, the thing was is I did the first two Friday, and I was like, all right, cool. I'll save the next two for Monday, and then I'll try and knock them out. Um, and then I got to it, and I kind of had like a mini panic because I was like, oh no, like this is supposed to be done on Wednesday. And yeah, so somebody had asked in the chat if the solutions are going to be on YouTube after this video will be on YouTube. I also created two short videos on my channel that will release not today, but tomorrow and then the next day for the first two that we did. Not the second two because I was going to record for the second two, but I felt like my explanation wasn't very good for why this works. So I didn't record the second two, but the first two I will have.
I almost think we need to invite Roman and like Ethan Robish and some other like mathy people, maybe Brian Furman, who's getting his doctorate in math, for the third
Yeah.
challenge.
Yeah. So,
They can walk through that one. But so, oh, is your other script done?
oh, we didn't even check. Hold on.
Let's see if we got it done.
I think this is it.
There you go. Colluding. What is it? Colluding crime. What is it? Colluding co-prime causes decrypt catastrophe. There you go. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Whew.
So
I
I
actually
don't.
think the third one. I think the third one was way more difficult than the fourth. Because honestly, with the fourth one, once you know how to use Pwn tools and you know that you can kind of step through menus and you can actually say, okay, fuzz here, Pwn tools, it
Mhm.
like literally takes off after you, for that one.
Yeah.
Durslint was saying, I feel like maybe my math PhD was cheating for the RSA one. Yeah, that's probably, I don't know. It's not cheating. It's just experience.
Yeah.
It's just experience. And if anything we do here helps people with try hack me or hack the box, then I think that we did a good job. So
Yeah. And definitely I think it's like good to be transparent. Like I said, I couldn't solve all four of these on my own.
yeah.
So, don't feel bad if you don't get one. These ones were meant to be a little bit more difficult than our
Yep.
last CTF. So
And we're going to find out. Roman's going to let us know who the winner is. Now they're ripping on your computer and they're ripping on me. Did Roman get back to you with the winner?
yeah, so the winner who solved three of the problems
The
and got the
fastest.
most points and did it the quickest was Milo underscore PENG.
Cool.
So
And
if you
what
were
they're
to
going to get is they're going to get they're going to get free training from Antisyphon. And I don't think it's just going to be a class. I might just give them access to the entire Antisyphon catalog for 1 year, just to make it super awesome. Because I do want people to come out and do these challenges as well. And as far as these scripts, Tirefire shared their script, and maybe we can get in the YouTube description the Pwn Tools Python script, Serena, or a
yeah,
link to it, and we can share
yeah,
that out. And by the way, these challenges aren't going away. We're just nerfing their score. So it's going down. What are we setting it to, 50 or 100 for the solved challenges?
I'm not sure. They might already be they might already have been changed on there. So
because we want people to do them, right? Like we just don't want to make them go away. We just don't want to give like 400 points for it whenever Serena's gone through and done the solution for it as well. So once again, thank you all for. Oh, I think Roman is on the Twitch chat right now. And he said that they can publish the scripts and the written solutions to the platform, which would be cool too. So really a big thanks to Roman and Meta CTF and Serena. As always, you did a great job. Thank you so much. But let's go ahead and let's write it down. And they basically said we're nerfing them to roughly 25% of the original value because we want people to go back and kind of learn these things. And I want them to go to other Cyber Range challenges and be like, aha, I saw this on Meta CTF. I know your shenanigans. Hack the box, and I know how to deal with it. So I like that. Somebody said, LOL, Roman, get in here. And he just showed up. When's the next CTF? There's surprises. Address space layout randomization. You don't actually know when we're going to do and when we're going to do it. We're going to show up like a thief in the night. But Serena, I think we are planning on doing one session like this per month, right? Where we do a solution.
We're doing two a month every other week, where we retire a challenge. Yeah. So I'm going to be, busy. And then hopefully John doesn't launch more surprise CTFs. Cause I found out the same time y'all found out about it. So
well, up until we threw you under the bus on this one, I was going to do the walkthrough. And then I found out I was teaching like all week last week and then all week this week. And it's been a lot. But I'll try to be a better boss later.
Everyone's roasting both of us in the chat.
Yeah, everyone's like, way to communicate with your workers, John. So yeah, that's the way we roll here. All right. Yeah. Well, with that, thank you so much for hanging out. Hopefully you'll get a chance to check these challenges out. If not, check out AASLR Cyber Range with Meta CTF. And give a big thanks to Roman and his team because it's one thing to solve these. It's something else to come through and create these things. And we really appreciate them creating a sandbox and inviting us to come and play. So with that, we'll see you all. I think this is the last one for the week. We'll see you all next week at the news.